Hello, my name is Pamela Ramirez, and my book talk will be on The Water Princess. The Water Princess is written by Susan Verde and illustrated by Peter H. Reynolds. So, a little bit about the author is that Susan Verde was born in New York and grew up in Greenwich. She earned her bachelor's degree in elementary education and later earned her master's in reading remediation. This led her to become an elementary school teacher in Bridgehampton. Then later in life, she became a mother of 3 and became certified as a kids yoga and mindfulness instructor. So a little background on the book is that it's based on a small village in Burkina Faso. That's a country in Africa. It is a book that's based on the childhood experience of Georgie Badail. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that correct. She is an African model who spent most of her summers with her grandmother in this village. She, along with her grandmother and many other children and women of this country and the villages in the country, had to travel long periods of time for a long period of time to rivers, ponds, to have access to water. Once they would reach these ponds, they would carry them in these pots or pans or baskets, and carry them back home, where they would boil them down so they could use it for drinking water, bathing, washing their clothes, and cooking. So yes, that's a few. So many women, this include mothers and daughters of households. They had to walk 4 miles or even more to collect their water. Roughly, I looked it up, and the average was 35-minute round trip in rural areas and 25-minute round trip in urban areas. But again, this could change depending on how far away you were from an actual lake, river, pond, whatever water source may be. The walk to the rivers or ponds wasn't the only tough part. That is very draining on the body, having to walk in the sun. But also transporting the jugs and baskets, pots, whatever you were filling it up. Walking back to your home with a full bucket or whatever you may have of water is tough on the body. And again, from what I researched, not everyone had the shoes or any protective on their feet. So some of them were walking without sandals, some without shoes, some without barefoot. So it's very draining on the body to just so someone can have a drink of water, or someone can eat that day. So a summary about the book. So let me get my next picture ready. So the book it's The Water Princess. It's about a girl named Gigi. Her whole family, her parents call her Princess Gigi as a nickname. At the beginning of the book, Gigi talks about making the tall grass dance by her command, commanding the wind to play hide and seek with her. But she also talks about commanding the water to be clear, commanding the water to be near her, and not having it happen. So the next day happens where she has to wake up so early in the morning to walk to go get some water. And so so this is of them walking. They're starting their trip, their journey to get water before the sun even rises. So they begin singing. They know it's a long trip. They've done it before. It's not the first time. They begin singing. They sing their songs. They walk. They're just trying to see the best in the situation that they're in. So they continue to walk until they reach a halfway point, which is they sit under the tree for a minute to rest, and then they start their journey once again. They finally reach the lake. In this case, they get their water, and once they have their water, they begin their journey back home. They carry their pots and pans on their head, slower. Their singing has gotten softer, but they're still singing, trying to make it home. Finally, once they arrive home, the mother boils the water so they can drink it, they can wash their clothing, they can wash their fruits, vegetables, or whatever it may be what they're having for dinner. And finally, this broke my heart when I first read the book, when she says finally, that she's finally getting to drink water. That's the first drink of water she's had all day. And this is very tough, because in a lot of countries it's like this, that when they first wake up, they don't have a drink of water, or if they do, they have to share it, because they probably don't have that much, and they have to go get more water for the rest of the day. So this was just it just put so much into perspective, and how she wants to make it last, but she can't. She just gulps it all the way down. So after they've eaten, they've showered, they've done everything that they possibly can with the little water that they got. This also broke my heart. Her mom brings her one last cup of water, the last cup that she has saved for her, just for her, because I believe she is the only daughter, so I think she doesn't have any siblings from what I remember, or from what I see here actually. So she tells her, "Drink, my princess, sleep, my princess, tomorrow we journey again." Sorry. So she's getting her prepared mentally and physically for the journey tomorrow. And then Gigi asks her mom, "Why is the water so far? Why is the water not clear? Where is our water?" So I have a little sister, and I've never heard her ask, "Where is the water?" Because we always have water here. But this little girl is asking her mom, "Why is our water so far?" And her mom, this is like amazing. Her mom just tells her, "Sleep, dream. Someday you will find a way, my princess, someday." We don't really think about like these big things like we should every day, because we have the luxury, we have the blessings of having water at our fingertips. But hearing this, having a mom tell their child, "You will find a way for all of us to have drinking water," it's just amazing. I find this book very powerful. I read it, I found it a couple months ago, and it stuck with me, and hopefully one day when I'm in the classroom, I will bring it to the classroom with me as well. So a book from our class reading that I thought it connected well with was the Haran and the Sea of Stories. So in that book, we read about how the imagination that comes with that story. So the father being able to tell all these amazing stories, and at one point Haran does believe that they're not what's the point in storytelling, and what's the point in imagination, what's the point of it after his mother leaves. But I think it's something that's very powerful, and in The Water Princess, I think they did an excellent job, like showing all the imagination, that even having to struggle with not having water, she still has all the imagination, all the creativity in her to think of the brighter side of everything. And I think that's the best thing of being a kid, that you can just think of imagine anything you want, and everything will be okay. So yeah, that's my book talk, and I really recommend that book. It's not only a great children's book where it has beautiful pictures, a beautiful message, but it also teaches you about environment, and you get to see how other people live in the world that aren't as blessed as you, and to open and to put things more into perspective. But yeah, I really hope you check out that book. I really love it. I don't want to say I assure you, but I'm pretty sure you will too. Bye.